was hooked instantly. I immediately was like, I've never heard anybody play guitar like this ever. It was something completely new.
He was just blazing.
I went to see him, just blown away, just really got into it.
Very, very fast, very clean, very smooth lines, very eclectic musician.
I was like, wow, this guy's amazing. There ain't nothing average about this man. Play the hell out of that guitar.
I don't really see a guy playing guitar. I don't see those as two separate things. It's kind of like he becomes the guitar, or the guitar becomes him.
I have to ask you before you do a number, though. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with your friend Buddy Guy.
You got a call from Buddy in 1989 asking you to join his band.
He could play when I first saw him. It was hot stuff. If you understand what I'm talking about, he was wailing and blasting and doing his thing.
I'd go out with Buddy and watch what he did, and take all that stuff and go back to my band and apply it. It was really just research all the time, just doing my homework.
John Lee Hooker, Santana, the Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton. When are you going to play with some guys that have real talent? That's what I want to know.
Some guys that everybody's heard of.
Some guys that might actually have a chance to make it in the industry.
The most important things to me musically are the things that I took from the blues, the lessons I learned from Buddy, Howlin' Wolf, and Muddy Waters, and all that stuff. That's sort of like, it's like home. As a musician, you're constantly listening to other stuff, and sometimes what's coming out of the guitar amp isn't blues, per se, but to me it always is. To me it always makes sense. And so if I accidentally hear a Nirvana record, and that gets blended in there somehow, to me it still makes sense,
For someone to come from Tennessee, I'm like saying, okay, you from Tennessee, I know you're not going to be deep in the blues, but how wrong was I? He was into just about everything.
He's writing some incredible songs.
Like Scott's thing was a groove. If they weren't up dancing or grooving to whatever he was doing, he ain't doing his job. So, his job would be like, all right, how am I going to figure out how to get you off that seat?
He'll do something from his meat and potato stuff to something like Marvin Gaye. That's really neat.
One thing that I love about Scott is we'll go from that type of a song and then turn on a dime and just nail you against the wall. The same feeling is there for both the nice, mellow, gut-wrenching, put a tear in somebody's eye or a chill, as it is to feeling some pain.
You can watch Scott on stage and you can tell he's not trying to show off at all. He's more or less just, he's being who he is, If you walk in the room and you hear Scott in the middle of a solo and you've never seen him before, you don't get that feeling of, okay, this guy's going to do this all night long. No, he's more about the show than showing off chops.
He has no hesitation about doing anything. He's a great showman.
How I found out about him is my friend came in the house. He's like, there's a guitar player running through the crowd with the 200-foot guitar cord and running outside and down the street playing. So I knew before I even saw him that he was that type of player.
When you go to see a Scott Holt show, or if you're a part of the Scott Holt show, you're never going to get the same thing twice.
You can tell a serious cat, that just loves it. So, that's just what he does. He was born to do that. That's just like, that's all I can say, He's believable when you hear him play, A lot of guys will play and it's just fake. With Scott, it's like, that feeling comes off the stage. He's got it, whatever that is.
I had a chance to play with the late Son House, who taught Muddy how to Fred McDowell. It's just a hand-me-down thing, and Scott has got the same thing all the rest of us had, Every time I hear him, I hear something, some improvement he done made, He's an automatic, he's good. That's one of the main reasons I keep this club, because I'm saying, oh my God, why is the next Eric Clapton or Jeff Beck gonna come? You don't drive through a city and just find Scott Holt or anybody else playing in their bedroom and say, oh, now we take him out and make a record.
Every time I get to play with Buddy or for Buddy, it means the world to me. He knows how much I love him, but it's important to me.
Yeah, but I be stealing shit.
Yeah.